Hello and welcome to Sorry You Went Viral, all about the stories that are setting social media alight and the human stories behind those popular posts. I'm Tim.
And I'm Hannah, and coming up on today's show for you, we've got the woman who convinced millions, literally millions of people that she was the skater who fell over during Usher's Super Bowl halftime show.
Also coming up on the show, the man who got noticed by the game show contestant off the telly that he fancied, and the guy and his goat going viral for singing. We'll explain more about that later on in the show.
You don't want to miss the goat. No one wants to miss the goat. But first off, we're going to talk about what's gone viral in the last week or so. And I mentioned in the teasers there about Usher's Super Bowl halftime show. Who didn't watch it? Everyone watched it. I mean, I didn't watch it live because it was the middle of the night for us in the UK, but I definitely watched it the next day. But eagle-eyed viewers out there, and you know, for those who are watching on the video feed now, you'll be able to see part of the show. Eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed that there seemingly seem to be a skater, because why wouldn't you wear skates when you're, being watched by hundreds of millions of people, who seemed to fall off her pole. And I mean, personally, I just thought she just was doing a move a little bit too early, so maybe it's just poor technique. But she seemed to fall over. And Tim, you can pick up the story to explain why we're talking about it now, because someone was doing a bit of an impersonation.
Yeah. I was convinced initially seeing this video of a woman called Louisa who said, I was that woman who fell off the stage at Super Bowl.
It's me. I am the roller skater who fell off the stage during Usher's halftime show. I've been seeing all your guys' memes, and I just figured it was time to come on here and tell you guys that I did survive. Thank you very much. I am alive. Not well, but alive, and I figured I'd tell you guys the backstory, because why not? If anything, this is a cautionary tale not to lie on your resume. As an actor and commercial dancer, I use casting sites to advertise my services, and on this particular casting site, you were able to click all of your talents and special skills. Now, I've always been told by my agents and managers, just click everything, because you can always figure it out later. For most things like a commercial, for instance, you'll have at least 2 weeks, so if you lied and said that you were advanced at surfing, for instance, you could just surf every single day until, basically you could fake it for the commercial shoot. And don't come for me, because for 20K, you would do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I honestly thought, first off, that was real, because what happened, I didn't see it on TikTok initially. I saw it on Twitter from a woman who basically criticised Louisa, saying, this is why you don't lie on your CV. I thought, oh my goodness, this woman lied on her CV about being able to roller skate, and then she admits it in a video. But if you then go on to Louisa's TikTok page and see her other videos, she does a fantastic job of telling really convincing stories about incredibly random occurrences, such as I spent $10,000 on a Taylor Swift concert ticket and I fell asleep during the concert and things like that. And people really do honestly believe her.
She's a good makeup job as well. Does she always have the black eye then as well? I thought that was a nice touch as well, just to really, really ham it up.
It's brilliant. So this video of from Louisa got 40 million views because everyone was wanting to know.
Yeah, and also we think what was the Super Bowl viewing numbers in the end? It was something like 180 odd million. It was more than the people who'd watched the first moon landings or something like that. So I suppose it's no great surprise that you get maybe 40 million of interest. I mean, everyone watched it. I don't know anyone, even my mum watched it, let's face it. So yeah, but I mean, 40 million views just for her little lie. I wonder if the actual skater in question has come forward and reclaimed her fame.
I couldn't see anything. So I Googled Louisa's name just as part of the research of the show to find out what people said had that real skater come forward, and I was astonished to find what I did. So again, if you're watching a video feed, you can see now Louisa. This isn't the only story that's been picked up about Louisa. As you said, there are all these amazingly fanatical or fantastically believable stories have been picked up by other media organisations and just told completely straight. And there's pages of the results on Google News of all these stories where she's just made things up and people have just believed it.
Well, it's frightening, isn't it? It's just fake news in a different format, though, isn't it? It's just like it's people will believe it, and then when you've got people who don't, when it's like poor journalism, people aren't actually looking into it and checking their sources and everything. They're just printing it as fact. Then it's no wonder you've got some people who are trying to scam the lot of us. And she seems to be doing quite well with it. Anyway, fingers crossed.
I think it's great fun. I think it's all meant in good taste, and I think it just plays up to how gullible we all are when we see things in video form on TikTok.
And also, I thought Usher's show was just flawless as well. I didn't think anyone fell off a pole or anything like that. I think if you watch that video back again, you'll see it was just part of the move, part of the choreography. She just did it a second too soon. But anyway, moving on. We're moving on to Apple's new Vision Pro. This is this like mixed reality headset, which makes you look a little bit like Kanye West at the moment or something like that. So I can't imagine it's really going to, well, who knows? I'm sure it will take off. Maybe just not for me. What about you? Would you wear it?
No. I've seen the video. Again, you're watching a video feed, you can see the trailer produced, a very slick trailer by Apple. I've seen lots of posts on social media of people reviewing it and saying how amazing it is. There's also like a Meta, the owners of Facebook have made their own version as well. It will be, I'm sure, down the line, it will be the thing we'll all get used to wearing.
Our kids will be using it, won't they? Let's face it. Yeah.
At the moment, probably not. And I think it's just the strangeness of the headset because we're not used to seeing it. But this guy, that we're talking about now, went viral. Sorry.
Yeah. Anshul Sag, his name is.
Yeah. So he's been reviewing, he's a big into his tech. And like many other people, he was showing it in action. Unfortunately, though, it kind of backfired a little bit on him. So as you can see in the video feed, he is got his young baby daughter on his shoulder when he's wearing his big headset. And he's in the post, he talks about how he was testing out watching Avatar while his daughter slept on him. And again, as in terms of a review, it makes an interesting picture. However, Hannah, you explain, there's a bit of a backlash to it.
Well, yeah, there's lots of people who sort of hit back at him, basically saying, "Oh, this is terrible parenting. Basically, it's critical for children is learning their parents' faces and expressions." And like he then, quite rightly, in my view at least, responded and said, "She's asleep and she's a newborn, so it's fine." And personally, I'm just like, you think maybe he'll regret having posted that his review, but I think he won't regret it, or he shouldn't regret it, because it does give a different perspective to Apple, who I'm sure are kind of like testing the market and everything at the moment. It's just like, well, this can be used by people in all sorts of guises as well, such as new parents, for example, who, let's face it, are knackered for 24 hours a day, probably getting minimal sleep. He's doing a wonderful thing by having the skin on skin contact, and his baby is sleeping on him. Babies, as we know, at 6 weeks old or something like that, they tend to just sleep a lot anyway. And I just think it's an excellent use and efficient use of his time and of her time as well, for him to be catching up on a film and testing out a product while his baby's very, very peacefully sleeping on him. So I don't think he'll regret it at all. And I think fair play to him, but tons and tons of people, 10.5 million views on his video, which is mega. But yeah, a lot of hate.
I think it's tricky. Look, we're both relatively recent new parents. And of course, you know what it's like. You're absolutely knackered and you don't have time. You're running around. You're obviously looking after your newborn. And you're just maybe when he or she's asleep on you've got your phone, you could be texting and catching up with mates and WhatsApps. I think there's a couple of things for me, which, again, I know I said I feel he may regret it slightly, but I don't feel necessarily condemning him like some people, because again, we want to be catching up on what's been going on. But I think it's just because, as we said, it's that headset we're not used to seeing. And so people's reaction of, again, going to pull a face, like I did seeing some of the pictures of people going down the road, scooting down the road on their electric scooter wearing these things. But I think
so it's just that feeling of if we're uncomfortable with seeing something, then we lash out at it. It's the othering, isn't it? It's this out of this worldly kind of like look about him that is making people feel uncomfortable, and then they feel like they on social media need to kind of like comment on it because we're not comfortable with what we're uncomfortable with. So,
but also it's social media, particularly Twitter. It's just being outraged, and people love a social media storm. And in fair play to him, he has replied to the messages. He's kept the post up, and he's been posting other things as well. But it is really tricky. It's a really tricky situation for him. I wouldn't necessarily have done that in the same picture, same way, or even pictured myself on social media with my phone, with my daughter, for example. I feel very self-conscious about that. But it is, everyone's different, and again, the baby was completely safe.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was asleep himself. I'd be more conscious if he was falling asleep and about to, I don't know, like roll over with the baby or something. That's when you've got to worry. But he's engaged and happy. Anyway, let's move it on to talk about my husband. Why not?
From one social media storm to another, literal storm.
Very
Do you want to
good.
explain what we talked about on last time's show about I forgot the name of the hurricane. It was a hurricane or a storm? I can't remember
it was
now.
oh gosh, what was it? I can't remember what it was called now. Isla or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But we saw Cheryl, didn't we, getting absolutely blown around by the storm in Carrickfergus, and we had a good laugh. And she took it good nature as well. She shared it on her TikTok as well afterwards. But then Lewis got caught up in quite similar circumstances.
And our correspondent Lewis Morton-Jones is there for us.
Astonishing in a different way.
Oh dear, Lewis. It's a good job it wasn't this morning, because the fire would have been blown out. How was it?
That's absolutely right. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, John. It is a bit blustery here. Let's get that out of the way straight away. Very luckily, last night, as you saw there, conditions were much more civilised. It was cold, it was a bit windy, but nothing interrupted that fire. Sorry, there's now lateral rain in my eyes.
Yeah, well, we were laughing at the time, weren't we, saying, because of our news backgrounds as well, we're so used to kind of like reporters being sent out into the field, into the eye of the storm and all the rest of it. And then, sure enough, like a week later, Lewis gets sent up to the Shetland Islands, ostensibly to cover a Viking fire festival, which happened, thankfully, to be quite kind of calm weather-wise, no storm on the night of the actual fire festival. So it was all like amazing pictures and all the rest of it. But then the next morning, I think BBC Breakfast decided, this would be a good time to get Lewis on the telly. The poor guy's deaf anyway. He's got no hearing in one ear. So you can imagine he's trying to link up to the studio and hear the questions. And I think it was John and Sally were kind of in the studio in Salford to go sort of asking him questions. He was like, I wish I could hear you, but I'm afraid there's just nothing. I can't hear anything. I've got lateral rain now in my face. So, it was nice for the whole family to kind of like catch up on what he was doing. For those who hadn't tuned in on the Viking Festival, and they got to see him at breakfast time as well. And nice for me to know what he's doing as well.
The glamour of being a TV reporter. Carrying on with the TV theme, TV star theme, I really like this story. Sometimes, you just got to shoot your shot. And this Twitter user called Trav was watching The Chase, I'm guessing one weekday afternoon, and he was captivated by this woman. And of course, some of us would maybe message your mates about it. He decided to post on Twitter saying, reactivating my main, I think it means his main account, to say that girl on The Chase right now is gorgeous. I'll be going again now. I need an act or something, gang. So asking, what's her Twitter handle, what's her name? This got 4 million views.
Brilliant.
But even better, so this woman, she's called Rebecca Ferretti. She's a musician, as well as a Chase contestant. She posted on her Insta stories because someone asked her, had you seen this viral tweet? And she replied in this Insta story, you can see on the video now, I may have noticed. Big up, Trav. And then he's then seen that and posted it on Twitter, understandably ecstatic about being recognised and getting a name. But there's no news on a budding romance, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, can you imagine? That would be a brilliant segment for this show, wouldn't it? For like what it's like to get married because you've gone viral, or something like that. Absolutely wonderful. Well, best of luck to Trav and Rebecca on their future happiness together.
Now on the show, it's what it's like to go viral. And Hannah, you're going to explain this amazingly funny story.
Oh, I cry like so many other people. I cried my eyes out laughing at this. It was just pure hilarity, joy, and I'm so grateful to these women for putting this in my life. It was just too good. Everyone's seen it. The viral video of the woman trying to climb through a window, and sort of exposing herself, shall we say? And it's just the hilarity of how she gets in the window, falls down the window, everyone filming it. It was just so brilliant. But there's a bit of a story that I didn't realise about how it actually went viral as well, and their reaction to it.
Yeah, so I didn't realise. I'd only seen it on Twitter, be posted by a guy called 2BJ DJ, which is a lovely Twitter handle, should we say. He posted the video, got seen 5 million times, but originally it had been on Facebook and it had been seen 20 million times. And then it got picked up. Everyone wanted to know who these people were. And it was a woman called Lisa Rowland and her sister, who's also called Lisa Parker. And they went on ITV's This Morning to explain what happened.
Have a bit of laughter, you know.
And when did this happen? Is it quite recent?
This 20th of June.
Last year.
I know exactly when it happened.
Exactly the date.
It's etched in my soul.
So when it went online, did Nicole just put it on her Facebook or something?
No, we didn't put it on any social media.
We just shared it between amongst friends.
Some woman, cheers Ruth in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, whoever you are.
So
she shared the video.
Yeah. No one knows her. We don't know her.
This
we don't know
lady.
how she got it.
But thanks to her, we got out
We've
there.
had a good day out. Thank you, Ruth, from Northern Ireland.
It's really a good way of looking at it. And dare we ask, around the neck now.
They don't leave me anymore. They stay there.
What is that, on a rubber band?
I don't know, elastic, yeah. It's not going anywhere, man.
So you could hear there. They obviously didn't know who this woman Ruth who'd posted it in the first place, and she presumably posted it in good faith as well, in that she'd just been sent it, found it hilarious, and so had posted it or sent it on as well. Which is slightly scary when you think of all the things that maybe you sort of share on WhatsApp or you know amongst your friends or school groups or whatever it might be. You just don't know where that content is ultimately going to end up. But the two sisters, the two Lisas, have taken it in such good spirits as well. They've had messages. They told OK Magazine, actually, that they had incredible messages. Someone said their mother had just passed away and they never thought they'd laugh again, and then saw our video. And a dying man in a hospice wrote, "This is my last laugh. Thank you so much." So, I mean, how wonderful to think that you can be kind of like the butt of the joke in a way, but for such a good cause. And it was just like, it brought so much joy and laughter to so many of us as well. And I love the fact that they've been so kind of like game on for it.
I mean, I'll be honest. So what Lisa didn't say in that video and the small that we showed you, but she said in This Morning, she was dying for the loo, and she ended up basically wetting herself. So you imagine she's upside down with her breasts exposed and covered in urine in her face. And you know what? And they make a laugh out of it, and I think they're brilliant. And again, that to go online and be shared and seen millions and millions of times, to take it in such good spirit is brilliant, and I think they're fantastic. Absolutely
fantastic. But like, note to self, maybe just sort of being conscious, aware of the content that you share, basically.
Well, don't lose your keys. Don't eventually you've got your keys. And finally, it's the timeline cleanser. And this video, how should we say? It's a guy and his goat. What else is there to say?
Forever, you and me, and getting nothing is better. Cause that is side to you that you oughta think you.
So this is 19-year-old Daniel from Brazil, and his goat called Jennifer. And Jennifer is just completely besotted with Daniel, as you can see. And I'm sure the feeling is entirely vice versa, entirely mutual. So this is just like the perfect kind of timeline cleanser for us, really, isn't it? Because we often feature people and animals. It does well. It's people seem to like it online as well. This video of Daniel's, I don't know how many views it got. Hang on, 2 million.
Yeah.
His top, but this isn't his first foray into the whole kind of like, never working with children or animals. Doing the complete opposite. He's been there before, but with a chicken, was it?
So his video, his page has got is mainly around Jennifer the goat, and he also says he's the father of Jub Nelson the chicken, hence the name Daniel Job Nelson. But yeah, here's top video of him and Jennifer, 200 million views. And it's just similar to that.
Let me go, and if you cry, I don't care how long you take. Let me go, and if you cry, I don't care how long you take.
And he posts loads of videos of just him singing with his goat, and the goat just leaning in. What I love is being slightly hijacked by football fans asking the name of the goat, and they say, "Oh, it's Messi or Ronaldo," with a play on the goat name.
Yeah.
But what's lovely about the story with Daniel, is that he's actually studying to become a vet as well. So he's got a real love of animals, and just having really great fun on social media, posting these fun videos.
And there's lovely to see the reaction of some people as well. So you said about football fans trying to sort of like reclaim the goat and all the rest of it, but also like someone saying, "Why did I expect the goat to sing?"
I did. I was waiting.
I did as well. You know, you kind of like going. It's like we saw something before with like an animal like eating food or something like that. As if anyway, we always feature people and animals in the timeline cleanser. It seems to be like a running theme. But yeah, I totally expected Jennifer to burst into song.
If you want to check out more of those videos with Daniel and Jennifer, his TikTok is Daniel Job Nelson, and we'll be posting all the links to the content creators and people with their hilarious videos on our social media feeds, so with the handles, plus also highlights of the show. And we'll be back next time. See you then.
See you soon. Bye.